I'll share my screen while we're getting into. We're waiting for everyone. This is really exciting, guys. We have over 100 people that registered for today. So we'll see how many actually make it. While we're waiting, how about we put in the chat where we're all from?
Where's the chat?
Where's the chat? There's a little chat box.
Obviously some non-Zoom users. Canberra, nice.
Yeah, Sydney, nice. New Zealand. We do have a lot of New Zealanders. California. Deb, yes. Sunny Guatemala. Cheers. Nice.
Spare a second. Can you show me how I connect that speaker to some music?
WA.
All right. Should we you just let me know when we want to kick off, Elena?
I think 2 minutes is good. Ebony will keep adding everyone in as we join. And then off to you.
Cool. Well, welcome everyone. As Elena said, very exciting. We've already got over 30 dialed in, and I'm sure there'll be a few stragglers joining a bit later. But by way of introduction, my name's Dan Brushin. I'm a channel partner manager from Monday.com. Don't worry, I'm not going to steal the limelight today, but I did want to open up as I'm working quite closely with Elena and the Kick team on a number of initiatives, but particularly this webinar over the last couple of weeks. Given the current economic climate, we want to maximize what we're getting out of our assets and our existing investments, which is what today is all about. How do you do more with less? So with that said, I don't want to take up any more time from the important stuff, but I do want to pass over to Elena to kick us off. I'm going to be on the chat as best as possible. So any questions, feel free to chuck them in there. And if we can't get to them today, we'll definitely follow up with you. Cool. Thanks, Elena.
Thanks, Dan. It is a great pleasure to co-host this webinar with you, Daniel. And it is I'm very excited to share tips and tricks and hacks on how to maximize what you currently have within Monday. Today is all about giving you a flavor of how much time and efficiency you can save with Monday.com. There will be even more things you can do with your own business because every business is unique. I will simply show what we do most of the time for our clients, as well as some of our own processes. All right. So why don't we jump off? Here is a quick agenda.
Elena, do you just want to put it in presentation mode?
Yep, I can do that quickly. Agenda, can you guys all see it? Perfect. We'll talk a little bit. I'll give you a brief intro about who is Kick. Then I'll jump into what am I going to show you today to get the best ROI and maximize and supercharge your business with Monday. So, little housekeeping. As Dan said, if you have any questions, and I really hope you do have questions, please throw them into the chat and we will answer them as much as possible at the very end. I will leave 5 to 10 minutes to do so. If you can't hear or see the screen at any point, please again shout out in the chat. Ebony here. Ebony, where are you? Ebony here. She'll give you a wave. She's an operations manager in Kick. Some of you may have spoken to her previously. She'll make sure you are everything's working for you and you're looked after. So she'll reach out to you. Just give a ping in the chat. And the last one is following the webinar, we will send you all a recording. Please share it with your teammates because I am a strong believer. If you have Monday, why don't you just get the most out of it? And that's what we're doing today, is trying to get the most out of Monday and how you can do. I have an ROI calculator that I'll show you guys. It is it will just give you some nominal numbers, but it will put a lot of things in perspective. Okay. Okay, who is Kik? Kik was founded in 2017 by me, and I wanted to teach people how to use technology. 6 years down the track, we now have a team of 12 based worldwide, mostly in Australia and New Zealand. So Ebony's from New Zealand and I'm from Australia. And we became official Monday partners earlier last year. And this was a huge achievement for me. I've been striving to get there for the last probably 3 or 4 years. Our head office, which is myself, is based in New South Wales, Australia. And what we offer, we look after and we offer to our clients Monday training, customization, automation, and just making your business more efficient. The industries that we seem to focus the most in, because they're the ones that come to us more frequently, are digital marketing, PR, accounting, and finance. Construction has been really big in the last couple of years, and business services. One quick one before we go. This photo is a photo called Food, Food, Food. It's a tradition that when we have a meeting of more than 3 people, that we take a photo with our food, because most of the time we're eating or drinking something. So I have a cup of tea and a water bottle. So please, by the end of the webinar, have a food, a fruit, or a drink bottle with you. We'll take another photo. This happened because I ran out of time to eat once I had my first child, and we're now here. Okay. Now, let's jump into our the important stuff. So this is the 8 building blocks that I will demonstrate today. This is just the overarching, I guess, buckets. We'll go much deeper. We'll start, it will be like a story. We'll start in on how does your information get into your boards? How do your lead nurture and lead process actually works? And I'll demonstrate how we do it in Kik. And then notifications.
48 for this thing, I think.
Sorry?
Can we just make sure you're on mute if you can,
Yes,
please?
everyone, please let's mute yourself, unless you have a question, which you pop in the chat. So we'll go through match automations, connected boards, and finally dashboards on how to analyze your team, your workload, make sure you're getting your team is working at their full capacity, but also not being overworked. Okay. So saying that, what I'll do is I'll jump you through multiple boards that I've set up for the demonstration. Apologies that you'll be seeing my desktop. So we come in here, and the first thing that I want to address, as I mentioned here, is forms. I know it's very simple and easy, and a lot of don't be fooled. A lot of the things I'll show you today will look very easy and simple, but they're often the best gems because we're not utilizing them to its full potential. And it is usually where most of our clients derive the most benefit. So as I promised, here is the story. We have a leads board. I'm a salesperson within Kik, or at least partially, and my characteristics is I'm generally in the rush. I'm hunting for things and I never finish things done properly. My husband does not like me for that sometimes. So when we come in here, and this is a leads board, imagine that what I would do as a salesperson, I'll come in here and go, okay, I am talking to Mr. Smith. Okay, you already see the data is not consistent. And yes, they're definitely a new lead. And let me just put their email in here and I will finish the rest of the info next week, right? Because I'm off to the next thing that I'm hunting, but I've flogged the lead. Now, as you know, bad data in, bad data out. Good data in, good data out. So we want our clients to be able to see everything and understand everything within their Monday. So if you have bad data coming in, you generally end up being blind because you can't analyze it. What forms allow, and this is why we love forms, Monday forms enable you to ensure you have data consistency, data integrity. So over here, salesperson, myself, the salesperson, have entered the lead with all sorts of incredible data non-integrity. I came in and qualified it before I finished it. And it doesn't look like a big deal until all the automations start to kick off. So now I imagine I'm an operations person or an admin person. I go into all the boards that are connected, that where the automation starts to trigger things. And you can see there is missing information here. There is missing information here. Missing information here. So now for someone like myself, who will be an operations person, to go and fix this, I have to go and fix it 4 times, not once, but 4. That's a lot of time wasted rather than just getting a salesperson to complete the information through a leads form, right? Actually, I can tell you how much time is wasted. Over here, we have this wonderful homemade ROI calculator by yours truly. And the first column will be your manual process. And the second column will be the automations we suggest. Then you'll see hourly rate, how many times you probably do it weekly, the time and the weekly frequency, and then annual hours and cost. So in your non-automated, non-Monday business, what generally would happen is the administrator would come in here and go, okay, we have very incomplete information. Let me identify where are the issues, go to the salesperson, ask the salesperson, possibly follow them up multiple times, get the information completed. So there's a lot of herding cats and back and forth. I've put this as, 15 minutes here, 10 minutes here. It's 25 minutes of time in the tasks that no one should be doing. It should just be done simply with ensuring you have data integrity. That 15 and 10 minutes here adds up to over $4,000 per annum. This is the $4,000 you could spend somewhere else within your business. If you're not getting 15 leads a week, like I've estimated, you probably should spend that money into marketing. Okay. Now, this is what forms can do. My next thing that I want to tell you about is automations, email automations and notifications. And I'll walk you through our leads process and show you how we do it. Because a lot of you, I know that a lot of you are actually our clients on the call, you would have seen this process as an outsider. Now I'll show you what it looks like internally. I also will calculate how much time we're saving and how much action happens before we even touch the client. Okay. Automating emails and notifications is probably the biggest area where most of our clients get the benefits. It is incredible how much time you can save with just admin follow-ups and admin data entry. Okay, so let's go to our leads board. This is our lead board. We break them down by groups. And for this webinar, I have a little test that I've already created, but I'll show you initially how it works. So all of our leads come into our funnel through the Contact Us form. I have pre-completed it for everyone. Let me just copy this email. So I'm definitely not a robot. And we submit it. Voila. And you can see the lead appeared in here. It's in the group contact form. So it clearly came from a website through a contact form. What happens next is you can see, boom, it magically moved into warm leads because the status changed to contacted. And the last contact date was 2nd of March and something already happened, but I haven't done anything. If we open the update, you can see that the email went out to the client saying, hey, excited to see you because I generally am excited to see, and whenever you guys email me, I'm excited to reply back. And here is a link to book in a meeting with Kaya or Lauren. Here is the calendar link that you would see. So why don't we test run 30th? So while I'm doing this, what will happen is when I book this in, let's put this in email, company, keep webinar, and schedule an event. What you'll see is I've booked in with Kaya. Kaya is actually on a call today with us for 30th of March. When you can see that my calendar answers already got populated here, so Kaya never has to go anywhere to see what are the details. Kaya also got assigned as a salesperson, and the next contact date changed to 30th March. What also need to happen is the status meant to change to initial meeting, but that seemed to not happen. Maybe it takes a longer time. So if we look at our ROI calculator, we've now completed this step where in a normal business, the lead would be received by your receptionist or admin person. The admin would send then an email to the client with a calendar link, or call the person or send an email to the client, do some back and forth, book the meeting, update the spreadsheet with the details of the meeting, right? So this is the first 3 steps happen. So I've got it all filtered here. First 3 steps happen in our business without anyone touching it. It takes minimum 15 minutes in a manual business. And that equates to $8,000 a year. So this is 170. If you're receiving 15 leads a week, this is the numbers you will start to back into. And we can do this for your business if you're interested to see it. What then happens in Kick is some of you may have received this email called Getting Started. What this is once the appointment is booked, our clients receive an email from the relevant salesperson with a form called Getting Started. What this is a form to get a little more information about our clients, particularly, most important, what is your tech stack? Because all of you use different softwares. There are the common ones, your Gmail, Outlook, QuickBooks, Xero, but some of you use industry specific. So we want to make sure we look into it and prep for the call. So all of this stuff gets populated into a form automatically, which is down here. Kai then can go and look at the answers and prep even further for the meeting, right? So now all of this, again, happens. We haven't even touched the lead. There are 5 steps that happen because in your normal business, this would all be manually emailed, followed up, and so on. So that's a total of 40 minutes per lead. That is a lot of time and money that can be automated with, as you saw, I haven't done anything. No one has done anything. It all happened in front of your eyes. It is true magic. Guys, please mute yourself. Thank you. Now, I assumed in our business as well, and some of our clients' business, is you might be sending an NDA with it to the client. Example, with us in a normal business, you would, in a manual business, not normal business, in a manual business, you would get your administration person or assistant to send an NDA to the client, edit it, get it through DocuSign, upload it into file, and so on. Here, what we have is when you click this send NDA, this will go out through DocuSign directly to the client and come back, get uploaded in here and change the status that it's been done. Salesperson will get notified. Again, one click of a button versus we have here, let's go down to the 3rd one. This is the NDA. Around about 35 minutes if you have to follow up the client. Again, a lot of time saving. Now, assume that some of our clients have to get things approved. So if you're sending a quote and you need the quote approved, I've uploaded a PDF here. Generally, as a salesperson, you prep the quote, send it to your manager for approval. They will then come back to you, hopefully straight away without you having to follow up. And you would collaborate on the document, or it will get approved, and then you would send it to the client and chase the client up and get it back. What I have created here is when you upload a form and hit ready for approval, it notifies the manager, which is also myself right now, saying that this is ready for approval. So me as a manager will jump in here, open the quote and say, okay, good idea, bad idea, I like it, I don't like it. Now brace yourself. This is one of the Monday hidden gems. I'm sure some of you, and please give me show of hands, who have heard or used Monday file annotations. I would have hoped, Daniel, you'd used it. I love it. I personally love it. Nice one, Deb. Eliza, it is a game-changing collaboration. So Monday last year released file comments and annotations. It used to be only images. Now you can do it with files. And a lot of our clients now use it with their creative teams, and a lot of external contractors. So what you can do is you can see there's already numbers on these documents. They're green. Let's say I don't like this particular title. What I could do is I could click comment down here, and this blue dot will appear. Sorry. Change this, please. Update it. And there is this little dot with 3. What you can see in the comments, it will come up. This is essentially your chat history for this document. You can reply or you can resolve it. Once it's resolved, it turns green. Now, to make sure everyone is in the loop, it posts all the conversations into an update section. So everyone who's working on this particular item will be aware that there is a lot of stuff going on with this file. Our clients absolutely love it. And for some reason, a lot of people actually don't know about this. So you're welcome. So back to our approval. So manager comes in here and goes, okay, this is great document. It did really well, Kaya. Ready for approval? Let's hit approved. So this is where the process can stop. But why stop if you can keep going? Why don't we automate so that when you hit approve, the document actually gets sent through DocuSign automatically to your client for a signature. And when it comes back, it gets uploaded and the status changes. Wouldn't that be easier? That would be great, without you having to go back and forth and send things back to the client and forward. Here is 30 minutes of your time back to you. Now, we use a tool called Proposify to create our proposals, and some of you have received them on the client end. What happens is when our lead moves into proposal work in progress, it populates the client's details into Proposify. And when the proposal gets sent to the client, so when you receive the proposal and sign it, the proposal gets attached into this board as well as the status changes that has been converted. And everyone notifies and we pop a bottle of champagne. Not every time, but sometimes. I get notified as well here. I'm not going to showcase because it keeps off tremendous amount of automations all around the account. Ebony gets an invoice, notification and a task. It appears in other boards to track the progress of the project. It also appears in another board called Project Task List, where you can see all the tasks for your projects. So some of you have access, as our clients, you have access to it, which I'll show you a bit later. So we've automated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different not steps, but sections, a lot more steps with just your leads. Assuming you get 15 leads per week, you convert 3, you spend 200 minutes just converting that we can automate. That equates to a really large number, which is absolutely shocking, but I promise you, I've checked the math. This is a number that you can maybe take your team on a holiday somewhere, or you can invest in different other tools or whatnot, get Monday even more supercharged. This is really incredible with just one thing, automating your emails and notifications, what you can do. All right, Ebony. Now, what I would like to show you next is, now that we've talked about leads, automations, and sales, I want to talk to you about permission management. And permission management in my world, the way I call it, is really protecting yourself, protecting your clients or your customers, your Monday, and your IP. Monday has 4 levels of permission management, or 4 levels of protecting here. We have the overarching account permissions, then we have workspace permissions, board permissions, and the very last, but absolutely my favorite, is item level permissions. Some of those guys, just a heads up, are an enterprise feature. So I'm not here to sell you enterprise. I'm here to give you an idea of what you could do. And eventually with some of the things I show you, you will see that, hey, for you to get the maximum out of what I'm getting today, sorry, Dan, I'm going to close the chat because I'm getting distracted now. For you guys to get everything to maximize what I'm showing you today, enterprise really is the only way. However, during the webinar today, I'll point out the features that you get with enterprise, because this item level permission was a game changer for us. It allowed us to do what we currently do at a scale that we do. Small business, 5 people, probably don't need it. We now, to be able to handle we can handle twice as many clients as we did a year ago, and our team is actually smaller. So that shows you that we're definitely getting our money's worth. So permissions. I will show you the boring, serious conversation about protecting yourself, and then we'll jump into more fun on how does this actually supercharges your collaboration by 1,000%. So this is your account permissions. You'll see it if you're an enterprise. You can go to your little face here, go to administration and in permissions, and it segregates by admin, member, viewer, and guest. Most important one, and this is the many horror stories I've witnessed with my own eyes in financial planning industry where I came from, is this export data to Excel. Team member leaves and a bunch of clients disappear. We don't want this happen to anyone. And if you have a very large sales team, especially external stakeholders or contractors, you want to make sure your data is protected. We all trust our team members, but when it comes to guests and so on, maybe not so much. Now, other things our client find very beneficial is this: delete items created by others. Members often are people within your account. So for us, it's all of our Kick team. You would think that they would have common sense. But when it comes to guests, for example, we restrict that. We don't allow our guests to delete anything that's been created by others, which is generally our team, because it's valuable. Then we go down to generating API tokens, creating automations and integrations. Some of our clients prefer to limit this on the account level, but you can also do this on a workspace level. So giving you an example that if you have a workspace based per different team, which we recommend. So if you have a HR workspace and you want some boards to be viewable by everyone, for example, a schedule of pay cycles, you might want to make sure they can't create any automations, tokens or integrations, or create any private boards, frankly. So this is some of your account level permissions. As you can see, you can do quite a lot here. It's very flexible. Let's jump to workspace. So this is my webinar workspace. And when you come to permissions, here you can drill down further based on the roles. Again, owner, member, and non-member. As you guys know, on the board level permissions, main boards appear for everyone. Here, non-members would be able to see your main boards, but you can restrict what they can actually do in those boards. And a lot of our clients love doing this. Now let's jump into, so board permissions, you're all familiar with your main boards, shareable boards, and private boards. Just a reminder, private boards are only accessible by people invited, and shareable boards are boards where you can invite people. Now let's jump into my one of my most favorite boards in our account. It's called PTL. And before we go there, here is a little alert. This is our gem. Another hidden gem from Monday is this little quick search. So we are really big users of shortcuts, and this is the shortcut that gets used the most. If you're on the Mac, it's Command B, and if you're on a Windows, it's Control B. And what this does, it brings up this quick search window that allows you to search for any boards. Saves you going in here, figuring out where that board is, and then going in and finding it. You will, if I've ever demoed anything to you, you would see I use this a lot. If you're interested in more shortcuts, come into your little face and shortcuts over here. There are a lot. So let's jump into PTL. If you're our client or have been our client within the last year or two, you would have access to this board. This is the board that manages all of our active projects. As you can see, there are a lot of them. But if you're our client, you will only be able to see what has been allocated to you. And I'll show you a live example. This is my guest account. And you see, I can only see one item, which is the item my guest account is allocated to. And what this allowed us to do is we invited all of our clients into our Monday account. They all allocated onto their items. I'll show you one of the projects we're working on. This is everyone's project plan. And you can see priorities and date of completion, everything else, right? We share all the documents in there. What we're eliminating is herding cats. So imagine running a project with no one place for everything to live, where the project manager has to email everyone to try to get understanding of what they need. What about the requirement for this item or for that item? Here's a document. Then someone doesn't hit a reply to all the replies to one thread. So now there is multiple threads. So it's death by an email and a complete torture for everyone. Over here, every item has a responsible assigned. You can follow up any conversation. We then attach our development team to it so they can track the time that they're allocating, and we can actually manage their workload, which I'll show you at the end. How much time this actually saves us, I can tell you, because this is in the beautiful ROI calculator. Here we have emailing. I couldn't estimate it exactly, but assuming that as a project manager, you manage 5 clients per week, ours manages 15 at the moment, 15 active, and then there's probably another 10 dormant clients. You spend 40 minutes on each client per week, which I know is on the lesser side. At this wage, this is how many hours and how much money you would be spending on just trying to herd cats, figure out what things are in your email, and so on. You all have been in this situation, and all of you probably are herding cats quite a lot. It is the biggest time waster for all of our clients, and incredible relief when we can automate it for everyone. Okay. So this is sharing access with clients. And by the way, the only way this is possible is through item level permissions. And why this was such a game changer for us is because we were able to get it on enterprise. So as you can see, when you go to board permission, Monday redesigned this window. So now you really understand what you're doing. You can see viewing permission. Who do you allow to see what? So here on the people that get assigned to can see this. Here you have a little summary to see what you're actually allowing them to do. And you can control who can see what, and frankly, who can edit what. We don't want anyone editing the structure of the board. So here you are. Okay. So now that we've done, we've looked at the permissions, what I would like to share with you is match automation and connected boards. So these two I'll cover together. Show of hands, who's used the automation called match in Monday? Dan, good. I hope if you haven't seen this, this will blow your mind, I promise you. This, I was very excited. They brought it out about a year ago. So if you go into your Automation Center, there's only 3 of them, and it's only available in Automation Center. You can't create it as a custom. Search for match, and you'll see they're still in beta testing. However, I can assure you they're working really, really well. What this automation does is exactly what it's called. It matches different columns and connects boards based on the matched value. So it does connecting boards for you automatically. I'll give you 2 use cases where we derive value, where our clients derive value. Some of our clients like to have board per client or per customer or per project. And I'm sure some of you prefer that too, and I completely understand why. The 2 problems you run into here is, first of all, we all want to have a high-level board, but you can only connect certain number of boards to one board, which depends on when you signed up to Monday. It could be 20, and as of recent, it's only 10. That's not many clients and not many projects, right? If you are to upgrade to enterprise, enterprise offers 50, and I'm sure we can send down some chocolates. He can give us special permission to get it to 60. That's a lot more, much more feasible. However, it is still a manual process to, when you add a new task, to manually have to connect it to the high-level board. Mostly this is a pain point rather than a time waster of such. Over here, I'll show you it only wastes about 26 hours per annum, still time that you would rather not waste. So what we've done is we've created an automation using an integration called General Caster, where General Caster will populate a project ID in this column, and then a match automation over here will look up that project ID from this column, match it with a project ID in a high-level board, and automatically connect it. Let me demonstrate it. So you'll see in the project ID column, this will populate and it will automatically connect it. Game changer. Now, again, you will run into a problem of how many boards you can connect to one. And no, I'm not selling you an enterprise. I'm simply showing you the glass ceiling. If your business is growing and not stagnant, you will reach the glass ceiling, and then you'll go, Elena did tell me this will happen. So it is up to you when you start to look at these things. We reached it a couple of years ago and we tried creating different workarounds, and it was just really time consuming, time wasting. The maintenance was insane, and we just scraped it and said it's no good, not possible. Now, the second use case that I'll show you is this is our project board where we track all of our active projects. It's our high-level board. Let me just go into the webinar one. So we track our time in an external tool called Harvest. And Harvest then imports the data into Monday. And Monday populates it, and I run lots and lots of reports in here that Harvest is simply not capable. It is incredible for what I can do. It's not just on a who spends time where, but also I do a lot of profit analysis and so on in here using the Harvest data. Now, one automation that we have, and this is taking my hat off to our development team when they came up with this, automation is simple, but I just couldn't create this idea, is whenever items get populated into our Harvest board, they match the project name and attach and connect the items to this high-level board. Then we can see the roll-up time in here. Based on project budget, we can see how much time is remaining. What it does is every Monday when we come and look at the lay of the land for the week, we can see where each project is at, how much is left, do we need to reach out to the client, and so on. What it also allowed you to, and this has been a game changer for us, and Ebony, you will probably sigh because you will remember the times when you manually had to prepare reports for the clients. Some of our clients receive weekly reports with what we have done for the past week for them. Ebony would download a spreadsheet into Excel, format it, and then send it to the client. Some of you have received it. This is probably about 6 months ago. Now, what a lot of our clients receive is this report. They get an email automatically every week based on the status with a link to a shareable view, so they can only see the data, they can't edit it, of what time we spent on them in the last week, which is a game changer. And if I tell you how much time we used to waste on that, really is insane. 20 minutes per client, 50 clients per week. Number is absolutely insane. So this has been, but this is the one problem that you may run into with this is, again, a limit of automations. If you're on a standard plan, I'm not sure what you're doing with your Monday because you're limited to 250 automations per month. This means you're not really using Monday, you're using electronic spreadsheet. Pro account is limited to 25,000 and we would run way over it. We're close to 100,000 automations per month, purely because you saw how much we can do with Monday, we already do, it is insane. With an enterprise account, you come up to 250,000 and I've never seen anyone that has hit that mark, okay? So this is our second last section that I'm covering, match automations and connected boards. And now we'll look in on how you can manage the team, okay? So when we've automated all these different sections of our clients' businesses, they come to us and say, okay, Elena or Kaya or whoever is your Paul or Mikhail, we're now running into a problem where our staff coming into us and saying, okay, you've automated half the stuff that I do. What the hell do I do now? Can you give me more work to do? Or they come in and say, hey, boss lady or boss man, you are simply overloading me. I am exhausted. What's going on? And our clients analyze, export in Excel, run numbers, but it is really difficult to see or understand how to analyze your business. So this is a dashboard I use within my business. This is just a duplication using our webinar data. And these top 4 widgets essentially will tell you where's the problem? Is it you or the person or the employee? Do you need to adjust your expectations, or are you really overloading them, or are they not? Do you need to do some personal development and professional development and train them up a little bit? Are you allocating too much stuff or not enough stuff? Or are you expecting them to do things faster than what they're actually capable of doing? So this first widget is workload based on estimated time. And where we get those numbers is from a column that is called estimated effort. And please don't be scared. I know initially it looks like a lot of effort up front, where every task will have a number of hours and minutes that it will take. However, I can assure you, in our business, when we introduced it, I wasn't a big fan of it immediately because I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to do all this extra work. But it doesn't take extra work. It takes 1 extra second per task. No, I don't have an ROI calculator in that. But what it allows me to do is, I personally a competitive person. So I look at it and go, okay, 1 hour, I am going to bid this 1 hour. Or I can't bid this 1 hour, and I go, okay, let me adjust the expectations. But my team really loves it because we can really look at this workload widget, which I do actually during our Monday meetings, and say, okay, guys, we've now overloaded this team too much. We need to adjust our workload for this week, adjust expectations with your clients. Some of you may have experienced it from your project manager where they say, hey, guys, we can't deliver it tomorrow. It's going to be delivered in 2 days because of the pipeline. That's simply us managing the workload internally. So here, for example, I can see SpongeBob have been nearly, we're allocated nearly to full capacity for the last 3 weeks. However, the actual time is over. He's been working overtime and not going home to Mrs. SpongeBob. Okay, where is the problem? Is it us? Is it my problem? Or is it the SpongeBob that needs to be doing things faster? So I come down here and I know that I essentially allocate him maybe 30 tasks per week. So I can see I haven't been allocating too many, but I also can see that last week he hasn't completed all of his tasks. So we're starting to really hit a problem. I can also see that Sir Elton John is also overloaded, but my expectation was not the case. So clearly my expectation, if they're both my staff members are now working overtime, but my expectations didn't predict that, that means it is my expectation that I need to manage. So I would be meeting with them and actually talking to them about how well I'm estimating things and adjusting that. And this way you'll actually complete more in the week because they will be happier. And your team, you'll be looking after their well-being, but also maximizing them, their quality and efficiency. You can see how many tasks have been completed per week, as well as what is really outstanding. Okay. Now, the dashboards, to be able to see your company at this kind of level, you will have to attach or connect many boards. And again, this is where you'll run into a limitation of, on a pro account, you can only do up to 20 boards to one dashboard. And maybe that will be suitable for you because you have only 20 boards where you get allocated tasks. We have, I think, close to 20. Some of our clients, if you are doing a board per project or per client, you will run into that issue. And again, this is where you will go, okay, I think enterprise is the way to go. Enterprise is the really scary word. we tend to look at it as more business premium or business solution, where you get looked after, you get trained, your staff get trained. Essentially, there's a lot of looking after you from our team, where on the pro, it's a self-serve where you get to do your own training, you get to figure things out and so on. Now, oh my God, Kaya, thank you. So this must have been, so it's 10 boards per dashboard. This must have changed last year again. It used to be back when I started on Monday, it used to be 20. So thanks, Kaya. So yeah, 10 boards. Just here, we're already at 9. So if you're planning to do something like this in your business, you will have to look at either consolidating boards or whatnot. Now, this brings the end of the demo. Everyone, thank you for sitting through this. We still have 15 minutes to finish. So may I please ask every single one of you to take your phone out and take a picture of this QR code. Okay, my phone is now not wanting to do this. Give me a shout out when you guys are done.
Got the form
Thanks,
up.
Dan. Perfect. So don't be misled that it's called a feedback form. What this is a form to do many, many things. You can provide us feedback through that, and I would love to know if you found anything useful, and if you have, what was it? What did you think was great? Because our team, we actually collaborated quite a lot and brainstormed what to put in this webinar so you guys can get max out of it. But also this will allow you to tell us that you want us to get in touch with you to chat about any of what I've showed you. Or another really important one for us, and I'm sure for the person you refer, is, do you know anyone, any of your colleagues, or I'm not going to say friends and family, but anyone you work with that you think would benefit from Monday? So we can reach out to them and have a one-on-one session with them to see how Monday, and show how Monday can solve their needs and pains. So please complete a form. I would love to hear from you. And again, we can jump in on a session one-on-one and talk about these things. Why don't we jump into Q&A for the next 5 minutes? So
can I just add one thing, yeah, Elena?
Please.
Thank you. I think that was great. One thing I would really encourage people to keep in mind is what Elena's taken us through today. It's how Kick run their business, and it's always nice to practice what you preach, but that they obviously see the impacts of Monday. Keep in mind that one of the superpowers of the Monday platform is its flexibility and how customizable it is. So use what you've seen today as inspiration of what you could potentially apply to your own organization, and throw the challenge back on us if there are certain unique workflows that you have within your organization that you want to explore how to optimize and how to increase the efficiencies there. Throw that challenge back to us to come in and have a look at what we could potentially do for your organization, because we do understand that not every workflow is the same, which is what we want to make sure that the Monday platform molds to. So yeah, don't want to steal any more of the spotlight, but I just want to make sure you all leave today with that.
Cool. I'm just looking through the questions. I can see that you guys have done incredible work answering. I'm down to Colleen's question about permissions. Yeah,
I'm sure that there's a lot of these questions too. We can answer as best as possible on chat, but for a deeper discussion, I really do encourage you to include that in the form, because there may be some uniqueness to your organization.
And guys, if you see any questions that someone else asked and I haven't answered, put it in the form and we can also send you the email reply. So so why don't we take the questions offline? I'm just looking that there's quite a lot of them actually deep diving, which is really good. Thanks, guys. I know myself and our dev team really love challenges and curveballs. After so many years, you start to really want to, and I'm sure Deb can relate to this, dig down deep into things. So can I just ask you all to turn your camera on and we can take that food photo? This is, I'll stop sharing. Oh, hello everyone. God, it
I've
felt a
already
little bit
finished my
lonely.
food. I'm too quick.
Oh no,
I'll have to just smile.
just smile. That's okay. All right. All right. I've got my special cup. Can you see it? Yes. There you go. All right, everyone. Let's smile. Ebs, you're all blurred. Hi, Amy. Sorry, guys. This is really cool to see clients. Beautiful. All righty. Fantastic. Thanks, everyone. Okay, well, this is a wrap. So thank you. Any contribute to Monday with EOS? Well, actually, this is a great question, Colleen. I have been, Colleen, what company are you from? I wonder if I'm called Mode. Okay. No, there's another company that I am collaborating with to create a solution for EOS system to replace the current system that EOS asks you to use, because it is a little, well, actually quite very manual. So if you guys know what EOS is, it's entrepreneurial operating system. Is that correct, Helene? Yes. It is a game changer to run. I feel like I've said game changer many times, to run a business. It's really amazing. Google it. It's great. So we are working on to come up with a solution that will roll out using Monday and help you manage your business in using EOS on Monday. So Colleen, I'm happy to chat further about it if you want. I absolutely love it. Love this framework. So
yeah, would love to actually. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap for today. Thank you all for joining. It's been a pleasure to share everything with you.
Thanks, Elena. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Elena.